Yo, hello, it's Sam and Thomas here. I've had quite a few people ask me this question, and so I thought we'd just do a vlog about it because I think it's actually a really interesting question, and that is that how do you write a song? So I wrote my 10 points, my list of 10 things of like techniques that I use that kind of help me write a song and things that I often do. So my first point is that you need to always have some kind of recording device with you, no matter where you go. So for me, I use my phone. I have an app on my phone that I use to record, and so no matter where I am, I can just pick up my phone. I suddenly get some kind of inspiration. I just pick that up and I can just record it, because you never know when inspiration is going to strike. Like, I've had songs kind of happen and literally I'm falling asleep at night and just some kind of melody just comes into my head and I'm just like, oh, I want to go to sleep. Then I'm like, oh, that's a really cool melody. So then I just like pick up my phone, record it on that or whatever, and then go from there. But then sometimes, you know, I'll just be at work or just be in the studio or whatever, and some idea comes, I just pick up the recorder, record it, and then off you go. My second thing is that, and this is kind of probably more of an obvious one, but it obviously helps if you can play an instrument. So if you, there are people that do write songs that don't actually play instruments. But you know, it's always easier to write songs. If you want to be a songwriter, you need to play an instrument because, you know, you understand chord structure and all that kind of stuff, and it's just easier to write if you can play an instrument. And you know, you can, you know, for me, the instrument that I like to write on is the piano, because it's probably the instrument I'm best at. Sometimes I write songs on the guitar, but generally when I'm kind of starting out, I start on the piano. Tip number 3, and that is you need to actually practice writing. Just like anything else that you do in life that you want to get good at, you need to actually practice writing songs. You need to set yourself a time and just sit down and just be like, I'm going to write a song today. Because I think, I don't know, I'm not sure what it is, but some people kind of think songwriting is just something that you're born, that you can just do when you're born, but like, that's not really true. I think it's just like anything. You want to learn how to write a song, just practice it, and then you can, you know, improve your skill at that, just like anything. I think another important point, number 4, is that music is life. And what I mean by that is that every song has its own heartbeat. Every song has kind of like some kind of like emotional story that you've kind of written that out of. And so I think sometimes when people are writing songs, they kind of try and force it too much. But whereas you need to sometimes just kind of chill and just relax and just let the song come, and the song will kind of tell you what the song's meant to be. And then tip number 5 is that you need to keep true to your original inspiration when you're writing a song. Because I think when you're writing a song, it's easy to get distracted and to kind of like, you know, you start out with some kind of idea and then another idea comes, and you know, you might have started out with like a rock song at the beginning, which you wanted it to be quite hard, but then you came up with some melody and it ends up being soft, and then you kind of get confused and a song can kind of become disjointed. But I think it's important that you always hold on to that original inspiration so that you can kind of tie it all together and just refer back to that and just keep that in mind. So, and also it helps when you're recording, because if you're trying to, you know, it could be something as simple as trying to figure out what drum sound you want to use, then you have to, if you've got a really clear memory of what the original idea was, you can refer back to that and be like, oh, this is meant to be an intense song, okay, an intense drum sound or intense guitar sound or something like that. Point number 6 is that it kind of ties into 5, and that is you need to have a clear goal with a song. And so that's kind of like, you know, what is your song about? Like, it's actually, it's kind of surprising sometimes that people don't always actually know what a song's about. You kind of just sort of like, you want to write a sad song, or you want to write a happy song or an upbeat song. But I think it's really important to lock that down and decide, what is this song actually about? And then that'll help you once again with the songwriting process and with the recording process. And also with that, with having a clear goal of what it is, it needs to be something that you're emotionally connected to. Like when you write a song, it should cost you something. Like if you think about all the great songs or songs that stick around for a long time that people remember, they're all about something really specific. They're not just writing a song, they're not just, which I think is why a lot of music nowadays is actually really crap, and that's because people are just kind of throwing things together without really a clear goal of what they really trying to achieve or do with that song. I think if you stay true to the situation and true to the song, then that'll shine through and your song will just be amazing. Point number 7, and that is to just keep it simple, because I think it's really easy to overcomplicate the songwriting process sometimes. Like, you know, you think you'll write something and you're like, oh, that's too simple, I need to complicate this more. Or even if it's like the chordal structure or the lyrics or something like that, and tying it back into point 5 and 6, and that is that if you have a clear goal of what you want the song to be, then the song, like I say, will just tell you what the song's meant to be. You know, just keep it simple. Let the song is a life. Let the song just kind of breathe itself and tell you what it needs to be. Point number 8, and this ties back into the first point, tying my points together. Point number 1, which is having a recorder. So point number 8 is, don't be afraid to shelf an idea. Don't be afraid to, because you know, that's why I have a recorder. If I get like you don't always get a whole song at once. Like very rarely do you ever get an entire song just kind of dropped into your head and ready to go, a finished song. So you just kind of like, you just get that initial melody or whatever it is, however you write the song for you, and you just record that on your phone or whatever you're using as your recorder. And don't be afraid to just shelf that and just put it down. A lot of songs that I've written, I would say, have been sort of written over time. So I just, you know, like you just record on your phone and you just put it down, and then you can pick that up again later. And don't be afraid to do that, and that's just why it's important to have a recorder. Point number 9, point number 9 is make sure that you do listen back to your recordings. So because I have done for literally years, just recorded things on my phone, I have a massive bank now of just kind of ideas and melodies and uncompleted songs. So sometimes I'm in like a creative mood, but I don't necessarily have my inspiration right then at that moment for the song that I want to write. And so remembering to go back and listen to those things, sometimes you'll suddenly get the inspiration to finish a song that you'd started a while back. You listen back over your things, you're like, oh man, you know, I really like that melody, I can finish that song off. And you know, and just like a sort of a technical point, it's really important that you clearly label what each thing is, so that later, you know, you've written like something, and maybe as simple as just saying, oh, this is the cool beat song or something, just clearly labeling it as what that is, so later when you come back you can add to that and clearly label the next part, so you can sort of tie everything together. Hope that makes sense. And then point number 10 is that there's no rules. Everybody's different, and everybody works emotionally different, and everybody connects and just works in a different way. So all these points that I'm giving you, take with a grain of salt, because at the end of the day, writing a song is a creative process that you need to just let it flow. You know, and don't force it, just keep it simple. And there's no rules, just do whatever works for you. Say hi, Josh.
Hey guys.
He's my cameraman, just for today. Thank you, Josh. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
The important thing is that you do write music. So go write music, and let me know how you go. Leave a comment below, you know, if there's any other questions that you've got about the songwriting process, that kind of thing, or if there's anything that you don't really feel like I explained properly, or what's your favorite point or whatever. Because yeah, it's always good to have feedback, and I'd like to do another one of these because I get so many people asking me questions about songwriting. So I think it's really good to do these kind of vlogs. So go do some songwriting.